Hello and welcome to the White Coat Classroom. In this module, we would be studying about the longest bone of human body, the femur bone. And the longest and the strongest bone deserves the clearest concept. So hit the subscribe button. Let's make anatomy simple and solid. So without wasting time, let's get started. Talking about the femur bone, it is divisible in three parts: the upper end, the shaft, and the lower end. So now let's learn the features of upper end of femur. So the upper end of femur has 6 important features. The first one being the head part. So this part is called as the head of femur. The second one is the neck part. This is the neck part of femur. Then we have is the greater trochanter. So the elevation, the bony elevation which is present over here, this is called as the greater trochanter of femur. Then we have is the lesser trochanter of femur. So this elevation, this conical shape elevation is called as the lesser trochanter of femur. The next one is the intertrochanteric line. So the line joining both the trochanters anteriorly is called as intertrochanteric line. And on the posterior aspect, when we'll be observing, this is the part of greater trochanter and this is the part of lesser trochanter. So the line joining both these trochanters posteriorly is called as intertrochanteric crest. Let's learn about each aspect in detail. Starting with the head. The head is spherical, so it is more than half a sphere and it is directed medially. So the direction of head is towards the body, that is medially. The next thing is it is directed upward in the anatomical position, somewhat like this. So it is directed upward and forward. So this is the direction of head medially, upward and forward. And the head articulates with the acetabular cavity forming the hip joint. So this is the hip joint. Further talking about the head, just in the center of head and below to it and somewhat medially, we have a depression. This depression is called as the fovea. Let's learn about the neck part. The neck part connects the head with the shaft. So this part is called as the neck part. So this is the neck part and there is an angle between the shaft and the neck. So this angle is usually of about 125 degrees in adult, while it is usually of lower angle in females because of the wider shape of the pelvis. Talking about the neck, it is approximately 3.7 centimeters long and it has 2 borders and 2 surfaces. Let's see the surfaces. One anterior surface, so this is the anterior surface. One posterior surface, so this is the posterior surface. Along with that, 2 borders. So this is the inferior border and this is the superior border. So it's superior border, inferior border, anterior surface and the posterior surface. Talking about the border, the superior border is concave as we are appreciating it. So this is a concave border. It is horizontal, that means almost lies at the same horizontal plane. The next thing is the upper border laterally meets with the trochanter. So it laterally meets with the greater trochanter. Talking about the lower border is straight. This is a straight part. The next thing is this is oblique downward. So this is oblique downward and this is straight. And it meets with the lesser trochanter. So this is the lesser trochanter and the lower border meets with the lesser trochanter. Talking about its anterior surface, the anterior surface is smooth, medially is in contact with the head and laterally it meets the intertrochanteric line. Talking about the posterior surface, this is the posterior surface and the posterior surface is concave above downward. So this is concave above downward and it is convex side to side. Superiorly and medially, it is in contact with the head, while inferiorly, it is in contact with the crest. So it meets the intertrochanteric crest. Talking about the greater trochanter is a quadrangle-shaped bony elevation which is present at the junction of the neck with the shaft. So at this junction, there is presence of quadrangular large bony elevation called as the greater trochanter. So the greater trochanter have 3 surfaces. The anterior surface, so this is the anterior surface. One is the lateral surface. This is the lateral surface. And one is the medial surface. So this surface is the medial surface. So talking about its anterior surface, the anterior surface is rough in its lateral part. So this is the anterior surface and this is the medial part and this is the lateral part. So this is rough in its lateral part. Talking about its lateral surface, this is the lateral surface and the lateral surface has presence of a ridge. So this is called as oblique ridge. Talking about the medial surface, the medial surface is rough above downward and it has fossa below. So this is rough above and below it has a fossa. This is trochanteric fossa. The conical shaped elevation is the lesser trochanter. Lesser trochanter is present medially and somewhat backward. The next feature we have is the intertrochanteric line. So this is called as the intertrochanteric line. It is present at the junction of the neck with the shaft. So this is shaft and this is neck. So at its junction, there is presence of intertrochanteric line. From the greater trochanter, it begins as a tubercle and continues down with the spiral line in front of the trochanter. The last feature we have is the intertrochanteric crest, which is present posteriorly at the junction of the neck with the shaft. So this is the intertrochanteric crest. It extends from the posterior superior angle of the greater trochanter till the lesser trochanter. This is the intertrochanteric crest. It has an elevation. The surrounded elevation which is present in the middle is called as quadrate tubercle.